Man, what is going on?
The history of the Tottenham.
Well, a lot, actually. There's just so much wrong. So let's just dive into it. As you can see, I am a Spurs fan, and yes, every day I look outside my window and I contemplate on how enticing the cliff looks. But if we're going to look at what on earth is going on with Spurs, first we have to look at Thomas Frank. Which, I mean, it's just how it all fell apart, which is always just so confusing. We win the Europa League, then we sack Ange. Maybe you could argue it was the right decision. A lot of people could. We did finish 17th, we did win a trophy, and at that point he'd kind of sacked off the league and he was like, I'm winning the trophy, I'm winning this trophy. If you build on that, if you build on how the players were all behind him, like, players were writing essays about Ange, talking about how amazing he was, how much they changed his career. When Frank left, he got barely a sentence, barely a fucking Instagram story from our fucking players. Like, this is the difference of the support of Ange and of Frank. And another thing of this is, okay, we've sacked Ange, probably already a bad decision. Who do we replace him with? Maybe someone slightly more defensive than him? Maybe someone who matches his style? No, we go for the antithesis of Ange. We decide that we're going a team that never actually fucking spends, mind you. A team that never actually properly improves and buys lots of players, and that can actually start a rebuild and change the philosophy of a team quickly. We're going to go for a completely different manager, not fully back him so we can get his vision of how he wants to play. Mind you, we had maybe 5 centre-backs, and we rock up first game under Frank with a back 3. And he would play it every now and then against big teams. He'd put out that back 3 and sure, it looked good against PSG. But long term, when we're getting all these ridiculous amounts of injuries, how is that going to work? How is that going to be something that you're going to have under your sleeve when it's going to be something that we're not going to be able to do for half the year? I mean, last season, there were moments where we didn't have one fit centre-back. We were running defensive partnerships of Yves Bissouma and Archie Gray, and we're switching to Thomas Frank from Ange. Absolutely ridiculous. Thomas Frank as well, he had zero, just unable to identify where our players can actually play. Lucas Bergvall, he identified as a 10. He could do a shift there, he could play well there sometimes, but Lucas Bergvall is by no definition of the word, a 10. Mind you as well, if we're going back to the decision that Frank is making, Frank let Luka Vuskovic leave to Hamburg when he is looking at sometimes playing a back 3. He is probably our best centre-back. And we might be having to run him in the Championship or just sell him altogether because there's no way we're probably even keeping him. The most sought after centre-back in all of Europe right now, and we loan him out. We're probably never going to actually see him play for our team. If anything, we might not even ever see him play for us in the Prem. It's just so unfeasible. Matthijs Tel, another player that Frank couldn't actually identify. He barely played him, and when he did play him, Matthijs Tel would play out of his skin. He would actually play for this team. He tried him out finally against United. What does Matthijs Tel do when he gives him a chance against United? He scores. Matthijs Tel scores, and then he stays as a rotting bench player. All right, moving on to Tudor. We've sacked Frank. We've brought Tudor in. Okay. Matthijs Tel, finally he's giving him run out, and what happens? Tel is playing well, he's fighting for the team, he gets an assist against Atleti, he's playing well against every team. But then, the same thing, Frank would never play Matthijs Tel after he played well. He'd never play any player after he played well. Dane Scarlett was amazing against Copenhagen and didn't get a single minute ever again under Frank. A single minute more. And then Igor Tudor is doing the same thing. Xavi Simons, Kolo Muani were amazing against Atleti. And yesterday, against Nottingham Forest, what does he do? He drops them both. Okay, he finally brings them on later, and what are they? They are some of our best players. Xavi Simons is actually dribbling through, he's actually trying to do something against Forest, but by that point, the game's gone. The whole team, the whole atmosphere of the ground is gone. And there's nothing there anymore. Okay? Like, against Atleti, Igor Tudor, I'll give him, you know, like, he was dealt a tough hand, alright? Taking this Thomas Frank team that had been so demoralised under him. And first few games, not great. We've got Arsenal's the first game is tough. But then against Liverpool, we look amazing. Against Atleti, we look even better. We actually win our first actual game in about 7 matches. But then all that decision making goes out the window when he drops, I think it was 3 changes he made against Forest. We had that whole pre-game atmosphere outside of the ground before the game. We had flares. It was basically a parade, you know? Everyone was so hyped about this game. I mean, our fucking media team are putting out these silly little videos which were a bit cringe. But, you know, that's the atmosphere around this game. And then we drop Xavi, we drop Kolo Muani. We have no attacking threat whatsoever. And we lose. And we lose 3-0 to Nottingham Forest, the team who were directly above us, who were, I think, before this game, behind us, because I think they're only 2 points clear of us now. And now we are still just out of the relegation zone by, I think, a point. And you look at our run of fixtures, and what do you see? Where do you see a win? Wolves are in good form, and we didn't even beat them when they were out of good form. Where are we going to win? It's just an absolute mess. It is years and years of complete mismanagement, hiring managers that are completely different to their predecessors, and they're not backing them whatsoever, not actually trying to build a project, hiring Vinay Venkatesh, who is basically an Arsenal secret agent sent to ruin us, Johan Lange, who just makes me look up that cliff again and want to jump. It is ridiculous. I mean, sure, I'll tell you what. There was unluckiness because Michael Oliver is just such a bad referee. And every time we have him, you just know we are going to absolutely be just so screwed over. But still, man, what are we doing? What are we doing to be in this situation? It's insane. Well, this was more of a rant video, much less structured than the last Raya video, which I do have to say a massive, massive thank you on that. Now, currently my second most viewed video, my most watched video, my most liked video, most subscribers I've gained from a video, so I have to give a massive thank you. I know we'll probably have a lot of new video for this video, and I hope to keep you all here. Here's a rant video. I do plan to have more structured videos talking about Rayo and how they did against Samsunspor. More structured there. I've got a video rating the summer transfer window with a bit of hindsight, being able to rate them considering how they performed, how those transfers have actually worked out in the end. And I'm also looking to make a lot of videos. This is another rant video, but I'm not going to make a habit of these. As long as Tottenham don't actually get relegated. Please, Tottenham don't actually get relegated. But other than that, I have been Ollie Mudkip. I thank you all of you who have watched to this point. And I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.